Hello, and today I will be sharing my thoughts on the 2023 LEGO Minecraft wave. Let's go! First of all, I'm just going to say we have a really good selection of sets this year. There's so many to see. We've got loads of new minifigures and new pieces with it, and there's things from like a sword outpost to a deep dark battle. I do believe this is one of the best Minecraft waves I've seen for a long time. As well as that, we also got new armor, which is always cool to have. You could say it's leather armor, but some people might even say that it's emerald, but you can argue on that. And next thing I want to say is that they're at quite reasonable prices as well. LEGO is known for being really expensive, so we can't expect it to be too cheap, but we have got some quite nice price sets. We've always got that like $10 set or £9 set. That's always really nice. This time it contained a frog and a slime, which is minifigures that are quite nice to have. But the rest of the sets are also quite nice priced. Even the Deep Dark Battle isn't too expensive. Still a little bit expensive, but not too expensive. Speaking of the Deep Dark Battle, I think it was a really good set that we got this year, and I'm really happy that we did get it, because some things can be forgotten in LEGO Minecraft, but luckily the Warden and the Deep Dark didn't. But there's one thing I wanted to say about the wave. There's a good selection of sets and all, but we do get 2 mob houses. 2 in one wave. I talk about mob houses a lot, I know, but I'm just not a big fan of them. I hate it when they keep making player-sized houses made out of a mob. They could use all those opportunities to make new sets of new things in LEGO Minecraft. Instead, they just make a big giant mob. This time, it was the bee farm and the panda haven. I'm not the biggest fan of them. The panda looks quite big, a bit like the llama village, although not as many pieces. And they do have pandas in, which is always really cute. And that bee cottage does look really cute as well because it does have the bees. So it almost has a feel like the bee farm set that we got in 2020. So the mob houses this year weren't too bad. They were actually quite good. But coming with those mob houses on other sets, there are new minifigures. Quite a lot of them, to be honest. We got the shulker in the end arena. We got the alley in the sword outpost. We got the warden in the deep dark battle. Shall I go on? I think this is some of the most new minifigures we've got in a wave before. The Warden was the most exciting as we were waiting for that one, as it was a huge thing when it got released into the game. It's almost like a boss mob in the game, as it does the most damage, has the most health of any mob. And also the alley is also really cute. I do think they could have done something a bit better. Maybe could have used the baby zombie body and head and just made it into an alley and added some small wings to it. Because it does look a little bit bulky at times and could be worked on. But I still think I'm really happy that we got an alley. As well as that, we also got a shulker, which we were waiting for a long time. It's been in the game for so long, and we still hadn't got it. What's kind of annoying, though, is that shulkers come in an end city. We didn't get the shulker in an end city. We got it in an end arena, which doesn't exist in the game. It's not a natural structure. We're still waiting on an end city. I really hope they can get one through soon. And speaking of the shulker, we got new pieces for that as well. The things that attach it together are new pieces, perfectly made for LEGO Minecraft. As well as that, those new pieces were made for the sculk sensors as well in the Deep Dark Battle, and I'm happy that we've got new pieces, because the sculk sensors could have looked a bit different without them. And I like that they've made this shulker really good, and they put a lot of attention to detail in it. I love the shulker. One question I have is the wave too small? Now, I'm not talking about how many sets there are, I'm talking about the size of the sets. Like I've always said, LEGO Minecraft is full of loads and loads and loads of play sets. We barely ever get a huge set. Some of the good ones that aren't like play sets are probably the Ocean Monument, the Village, and the Mountain Cave. Those sets are really good, but I really wish we got more sets, because those sets are starting to get old, and there's so many new pieces and things that could be in these huge sets that they can make nowadays. For example, some of the ideas they could do are stuff like a woodland mansion or a pillager outpost. Like the proper tower of the pillager outpost, not the outside buildings. And speaking of the deep dark battle that we got, the biggest set of the whole wave, the Warden. We've got to talk about that. The Warden. Everything about it from the chest downwards is really good. But when it comes to the head, the printing for the face is very good. But then we get a bit too bright at the top, a bit too vibrant. And also what's been spoken of is that the ears are way too big. The horns are just too big for the Warden. And I'd agree with that. They're like really long and really tall. That's not how the warden looks in the game. I think they could have done a little bit more with that, but I do understand that they were under a lot of pressure to try and get this out as quickly as possible because it only recently came out in the game. So they were under a lot of pressure and they had to try and get this out quickly. So I do understand that it might have been quite hard. And for the second biggest set in the wave, it's a Panda Haven. But still no brown panda. I've talked about the brown panda before in other videos. I really want to get one. We've got the black pandas, now we just need the variant, the brown panda. And the Panda Haven could have been an amazing chance for them to add a brown panda, as it's literally all about pandas. But I really think that they kind of lays out on that. They decided, now we're just going to stick with the black ones and not make a new print. Slightly annoying about that, but it's still quite a nice set. Okay, so we've got to talk about this end set. I've mentioned it, the end city. Why didn't we get an end city? They had an end set there. They could have made something like the boat or just a little building from the end city. I'd be happy with just a small set that has something in relation to the end city. But no, they went ahead and made an end arena. It's something like the Skull Arena, and you know, it's not really what we wanted. It's just a giant ender dragon head with 2 players in the middle fighting. It's kind of disappointing that we got an end set without anything that's to do with the natural structure in the end, other than the 2 towers, but we're not going to count those. And now we're coming to the end of this video. I'm going to tell you what my favourite sets were. So definitely the Deep Dark Battle is one of my favourites. Although the Warden has a few problems, I'm really happy that we got it, and the Sculpt sensors are amazing. We also got Netherite armour in that set. It's really well made and looks a lot like the ancient cities. So also, I really like the Sword Outpost. I love the way they've done the sword, and it looks really accurate to the game, even if it's giant. And a jukebox and an alley. Super cool pieces to get, and I really like that set. So this wave has had its pros and cons. We've had some really good things like the ancient city added, and we've had a few mob houses and a few disappointing sets. But we have had some really good stuff like the Warden and the Shulker box and even the alley. It's been a really good wave, few problems, but I think the great things outweigh those problems. So that was my thoughts on the 2023 wave of LEGO Minecraft sets. I really hope you enjoyed this video. See you all next time.